Okay, so we're going to talk about Jackson's continual fight as an Indian fighter. And as I mentioned, in 1817, after his heroics of the War of 1812 and the Battle of New Orleans, Jackson then continued as Major General of the Tennessee Militia and continued his assault of Indians. This time he will be taking on the Seminole Indians in Florida. Now this was kind of an interesting deal because Jackson actually gained permission from President Monroe to engage the Seminoles in Florida. He gained his permission. And Jackson's goal, let's back up a little bit. Who owns Florida at this time? Spain. Very good. So General Jackson's goal was to run these Seminole Indians out of Florida, and basically anyone else of Spanish descent that was still there, and claim the area for the United States from Spain. So he wanted to run the Seminole Indians out, along with any other people of Spanish descent that may be there, and claim the area for the United States. Now when you think about this, in reality, this is an act of war. And who's the only one that can declare war?
President.
No, the President doesn't do it.
Congress.
Congress does. And so really this was a little bit odd because in reality it was an act of war and only Congress had the authority to declare war in the United States. Well, Jackson believed, since he received permission from President Monroe to engage the Seminoles, he had the authority to wage his own war, and probably legitimately thought that. And Monroe kind of was on, in my mind, a little bit of skeptic ground on that because he probably should not have given him that permission. Well, make a long story short, Jackson and his men were again victorious over the Seminoles, and after his victory, he resigned from the military and was appointed temporary governor of Florida. So, Jackson and his militia were again victorious over Indians. They defeated the Seminoles, and after his victory over the Seminoles, he resigns his position in the military because he was appointed temporary governor of Florida. And temporary was a good word because he had not any intentions to stay there very long. What would be the only reason he would be there? He was there 11 weeks at Pensacola, Florida, doing something before he went back to his plantation in Tennessee. What do you think he was doing as temporary governor of Florida? What do you think he was doing? Yes?
Setting up a government to...
Exactly right. He was setting up a state government. And it only took him 11 weeks to do that. So he spent the next 11 weeks in Pensacola, Florida, establishing a state government before he retired back to his plantation in Tennessee. Now when he returned to his plantation, he was 55 years old, and he was in very poor physical health. Too many duels, too many fights with the British, too many fights with the Indians. He's having all kinds of difficulty with his health. He's in very poor condition, and he's considering retirement, permanent retirement, being done, so to speak, in the workforce. But then he starts paying attention to what's going on in Washington. And he believes that the government is corrupt, our national government, and so he's going to choose to make a different choice other than retirement. He's going to get himself back on the political scene. Okay, back on the political scene. So, that's where we end the lecture today, for now. I shouldn't say for today, for now. And we're going to key over to this video. It's about a 17-minute video on Andrew Jackson, the Indian fighter, and you can see these things that we talked about yesterday.